Flory Models daily vlog. Here we are, Monday the 14th of December 2015, and we are pushing on like a good one. To be honest, Millennium Falcon, if you've been following us on the sort of Facebook page, you'll know is completely finished. So we need the old magic roundabout going. Amazing build, beautiful build. Didn't quite work out exactly how I wanted it to do it, if I'm honest, purely because we used oils which backfired on me because the oils soften the paint, and then when we tried to do the sanding technique it just goes straight down to plastic because it's soft. So we did slightly different way. So we went in there, plenty of post airbrushing, as you can see there. So we did some post shading, we did some things with oils, with streakings, and all those different things on there which have really gone through, and as you can see we've got it grimed up, looking the part now. It's not to everyone's taste, but don't forget the whole point of doing this one was to do that sort of film fresh. So from your point of view looking at it, probably doesn't look too bad. We've got big studio lights here which tend to bleach it out and everything else like that, but generally it's come out really, really well. Very, very happy with what's happened with it. And from my personal point of view, I think it's about right for what I wanted to get out of it. I know some of you might think it's just a little bit over weathered, but personally, I'm just about there. I like it. So what we've got next up, I'm going to actually start tomorrow on the Ywing. That's going to be our next proper build up on this one. Again, very similar to this one. The build, pretty straightforward. It's all going to be about the painting, the weathering, and everything else like that. I'm going to take my cues from this one, from actually the real one. Okay, so there is only one, I still believe, studio scale Ywing in existence in a private collection, which has been photographed, and I have got some reference shots of it. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to do get all the details from that one, and we can use on this one. C3PO as well has been started. To be honest, I've only done a few bits and pieces to him. He started, and we've got the inbox of review of that as well, because that one should have gone up last week, but actually I didn't have time to edit it. So what I'm going to do is the review for that will actually be a latter part in the week, and then C3PO will start on Wednesday. Okay, so he's going to be up as a sole one-off build. So very much like we did the droids, it's going to be a hole-in-one. All right. So what you've got today is actually the next part of part 2, which basically talks about the painting, the colours that we use for this one, because obviously it's a custom mix and things like that on it. So we talk about obviously priming it, so it's style res job, and then we go straight in then with some pre-shading, lay down some heavy coats of that, a couple of coats of clear. Forget all this, it didn't actually come off how I wanted it, which is the thing about modelling and everything else. So what we've actually done is we've sort of, very fluid with the way we did it. In my mind, originally I was going to have a couple of coats of lacquer that was going to protect the actual pre-shading, then we could use it for chipping and weathering, but the oils, to say soften the paint, didn't work. So in true modeler form, we shifted it. Okay, so instead of saying, right, okay, it's gone wrong and stripping it back, it's a case of, okay, let's not worry about that, let's just now focus on something else, which is what I do with my modeling. I'm not one of these people who sets out in stone exactly how I'm going to do each step, because I will let the model lead me. Okay, and this is why we ended up with this one. Really happy with it though. The weathering worked an absolute treat, and I've loved every single minute of it, and if I'm honest, that is going to be my kit of the year. The level of detail with it is absolutely phenomenal. I've never seen an injection molded kit with the level of detail that this has got on it in this scale. As simple as, you've got to imagine if Bandai were let loose and did this in 1/72 scale, I think you'd end up with an ultimate type thing. God forbid they went even bigger and did something on as an upscale studio scale Millennium Falcon and things like that. A couple of people I was speaking to over the weekend about the Hasbro one. Now, as we know, we're going to repaint. We're still going to do that, hopefully, if we get a bit of time. But we're going to repaint the Easy Kit, which is 1/72 scale. Some people have spoken to me about the Hasbro one. Would I be willing to do the Hasbro one and all the bits? I'm a great believer, if you can do the Hasbro one, you want to do it right, and you go down the aftermarket route for it as well. So all of the details down here you can get as aftermarket for the Hasbro one. If you're wondering what I'm on about, the Hasbro one is a toy. Okay, it is literally a toy. You remember the Millennium Falcon we used to fly around as a kid? It's like a better version of that. It's the new one. It's huge. It's about this big. It's a monster. It is definitely something I'm planning on doing in the future, but obviously for this month there's no way that I could allocate the amount of time, because if I'm going to do that one, I'm going to do it right. Okay, so we're going to go through and we'll do it with lighting, all the aftermarket bits and pieces. It'll be a monster build, because this thing's going to cost well over £1,000 in parts alone before we even think about actually putting it together. That said as well, a lot of you have mentioned about me taking a few shortcuts, as it's been sort of noted, about actually doing the XWing and doing it straightforward. A lot of you have mentioned you'd rather wait and let me loose on it and do all the lighting and the bits and pieces and everything else like that. I agree. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the resin X-Wing slightly on the back foot, but I'm going to do it early next year, okay? So literally within the first couple of months next year, before March, we're going to start on the X-Wing and have that as a monster big build. So it'll be fully lit, all the different bits and pieces on it, all the aftermarket, scratch building as well. Because you're right, it's a very expensive kit. Just to build it straight out of the box, you're going to lose a lot of that detail and everything else. And there's various things I'd like to do to it, upgrade the cockpit, get the lighting into it, which means hollowing it out and all those things. And you guys want to see that at the same time. So that is the plan for that one. Speaking of which, I have a package which has turned up from Japan. So in true, I've never done one of these. I've never done an actual box opening before. Now I'm hoping this is what is in this, because if it's not, I'm in trouble, because I don't know what it could be, because I haven't got anything on order from Japan, apart from a couple of bits from pre-order from Bandai, as you can imagine. This I ordered the other day, which is a good start. I'm hoping there's a box in here, but if this is what I think it is, or should be, then obviously this will be up for a review. And then obviously you guys can see it. So this is, which isn't bad. Some people have mentioned, I had a couple of people email me and ask about obviously delivery times. I can't really comment because I know some people have waited months for kits to turn up. Me, it normally within 2 weeks. That's what I would allow. I would say 14 days before I start to get worried. But if you look at it, this came off of eBay, international sellers and everything else like that. So this one was obviously from Japan. This was on pre-order and it actually got shipped early last week. I think it was around about Tuesday. So it took just under 2 weeks to sort of, you know, really get here and everything else like that. But this one arrived today, and so no problem. We are looking forward to this one. So this is the first order one. So definitely this will be one of the builds which we're going to whip through. But as you know, these will be one-offs. Okay, so like we did R2 and all the rest of it, C3PO, it's going to be a one-off. So it'll be about an hour build, and then start to finish, and it's done, because there's no weathering on these, and these are literally straight out of the box builds. So no problem with those. Glad you're all enjoying the Star Wars month. We're only a few days away now from the actual release of the film and everything else like that. Remember, there's still a lot going on the Flory Models site. We've still got all your traditional builds. We've got everything else going up. We've got the SIGs running at the moment. Don't forget, we've extended them as well, just to make them run right the way through to the end of the year and things like that. So there's no panic. You've still got a few weeks to go now, and then you can get them all done ready in time for the new year of next builds and everything else like that. Tomorrow we got a bit of a special show on for you for the live show, hopefully, hence I've got tons of cable down here. Yes, my mixer desk has arrived, so hopefully we can play with the audio. Tomorrow, playtime with that one. I'm hoping we can sort of have a play, see how it works, see what works, what doesn't, and everything else. But at least I can adjust the settings on the fly as we sit here. So we've got actually a great live show tomorrow, 7 PM UK time, all right. And in here we've got Tony, who's come all the way from Australia, not just to see us, he was over here anyway, but he's come down to see us. So Tony from Brisbane. So he's done some great scratch building work and things like that. We've all seen him, the TARDIS, bits and pieces, amazing guy. So he's going to come and have a chat with us as well, be in here. Obviously, I'm hoping we've still got Adam, got to speak to Adam, confirm. Ron is definitely here tomorrow, and obviously you've got me as well. Unfortunately, Sid can't make it, he's having to work. All right, but plenty of you to do. Remember, get your questions in. We'll put up the thing on the site, all the little files and the various bits and pieces that you can watch us live, because you can watch us via our site, via YouTube, and obviously you'll be able to see us via the Facebook page as well if you want to watch us live tomorrow night. And then next Wednesday we've got a Christmas special. Okay, so that's where we're going to talk about our kits of the years, the members of the years, the look back, and all the bits and pieces, because to be honest, I'm away for New Year. I'm not going to be here for the 4 days over New Year, so I thought I'd do a pre-Christmas one. Obviously we'll get the guys in, we get a few beers in, we'll have a few giggles, talk about what went wrong, what went right this year, and everything else like that. So that's it for tonight. Remember, you can go off see part 2 of the Millennium Falcon build with from Bandai. That is up on the site now, that's for you. And then tomorrow we've got the live show, and then after that should be C3PO. He'll be up as a complete build, and we make our way through that. So until tomorrow, everybody, happy modelling.